Hey Maya, welcome back to Mentoring Maya. It's Mohammed Bilal here. Today, we're going to tackle what I think is the single most important document in all of clinical data management. Seriously, it's the blueprint, the master plan that guides pretty much everything we do with data in a clinical trial.
All right, Maya, let's just stop and think about the scale of what we're dealing with here. A single clinical trial, just one, can generate millions of data points. Think about that. You've got hundreds of patients, each with dozens of visits. That adds up so fast. We're not just talking about a lot of data. We're talking about a literal ocean of it.
So, that's the big question, right? How in the world do we keep that ocean from turning into total, absolute chaos? How do we make sure every single drop of that data is clean, accurate, and actually tells the right story? Well, there's an answer. And that answer is the document that brings order to all of this madness, the Data Management Plan. You'll hear us call it the DMP.
Okay, so let's dive in. I want you to think of the DMP as the ultimate clinical trial roadmap. It is the most important guide you'll have. And I mean everyone, from the folks at the clinical sites collecting the data to the statisticians at the very end. Everyone follows this plan. It's our North Star.
Don't just take my word for it. The Society for Clinical Data Management puts it perfectly. Listen to this key phrase: under any foreseeable circumstances. That's the real magic right there. A great DMP forces us to put on our thinking caps and plan for everything that could go wrong before it ever does. It's all about being proactive, not reactive.
So, what is this thing, really? Well, at its heart, the DMP is the single source of truth for everything related to data. Imagine trying to build a house where every single contractor has their own set of blueprints. It'd be a disaster, right? That's what a trial without a DMP is like. This document ensures everyone is working from the same playbook, guaranteeing consistency and quality from start to finish. And what's the whole point of it? Well, you can kind of boil down its main goals into two big buckets: communication and quality. First, it makes sure everyone is on the same page. It's the rule book. If there's a question about how to handle data, you go to the DMP. End of story. And second, and this is huge, it's our promise. It's our formal commitment to the regulators, like the FDA, and to science itself that we are going to produce a database that is top-notch, totally reliable, and ready for analysis.
All right, next up, data collection and validation. This is where the rubber meets the road. Think of it like building a house. You absolutely have to get the foundation right. If your foundation is weak, the whole thing comes crashing down. It's the same with data. Quality starts right here.
So the DMP maps out this whole validation process step by step. First, we design the case report forms, or CRFs. These are just the forms used to actually collect the patient data. Then, we figure out exactly how that data gets into our computer system. But here's the crucial part. Before a single piece of real study data goes in, we build in edit checks. These are like little automated guards that flag potential errors. And finally, we do something called user acceptance testing, or UAT, where we basically try to break the system to make sure it's absolutely foolproof.
Okay, so the data is flowing into our system. Now we have a new challenge, making sure it all speaks the same language. One patient might say they feel nauseous, while another says they feel sick to their stomach. For a computer, those are different things, but for us, they mean the same thing. We have to standardize that, and that, Maya, is where coding and quality control come in.
And to get everyone speaking that common language, the DMP is super specific. It tells us exactly which dictionaries to use. So for things like side effects or a patient's medical history, we use MEDRA. For any medications they're taking, we use WHO drug. Now this might sound like a tiny detail, but it's incredibly important. This is what allows regulators to look at data from hundreds of different trials and see the big picture, to spot safety trends they'd otherwise miss.
Beyond just the coding, our quality control plan is all about accountability. So when we find a problem, and we always find problems, we have a formal process called discrepancy management to track and fix it. Then there's manual review, which is basically our human safety net for things a computer might miss. But maybe the most critical part of all is the audit trail. This thing is a digital footprint. It tracks every single change made to the data. Who made it, what they changed, when they did it, and why. It's non-negotiable.
Okay, this is it. Everything we've talked about so far, all the planning, all the checks, all the cleaning, it all leads to this one single moment, locking the database. This is, without a doubt, the point of no return. It's the grand finale for a data manager. And you don't just, push a button. The DMP lays out a final, super rigorous checklist. It's like a pre-flight check for a space shuttle. We have to confirm every serious safety event is reconciled. We have to get the final green light on all the medical coding. We run our last batch of quality checks, and then, the big one, we have to get formal sign-off from all the key stakeholders. Only when every single person agrees that the data is as good as it can possibly be, only then can we lock it. And once it's locked, that's it. It's frozen in time. Done. Finito. No more changes are allowed. Period. The data is now officially clean, complete, and it's ready to be handed over to the statisticians to work their magic. For us, this is mission accomplished.
So let's bring this all back home. We've gone from the big picture plan to the final locked database. So what does all this mean for you, Maya, as you kick off your career as a data manager?
Okay, if you remember nothing else, I want you to remember these key things. 1. The DMP is your Bible. It's your roadmap. You need to know it inside and out. 2. It has to be done before the study starts. No exceptions. 3. This proves that quality isn't something you add at the end. You have to plan for it from day one. 4. The DMP is a living document. It can, and often does, change as the study goes on. And finally, number 5, always keep your eye on the prize. A clean, locked, analysis-ready database, that's our ultimate goal.
So there you have it. That's the master plan. You understand the strategy, you know the rules, and you see the finish line. So, Maya, I guess my only question for you now is, you've seen the blueprint? Are you ready to start building? Awesome work today, Maya. Now that you've got the plan down, next time we're going to get our hands dirty with the actual tools we use to make all this happen, the electronic data capture systems. Thanks for joining me for this explainer in the Mentoring Maya series. I'll see you in the next one.